Hello, my name is Paula Marie Esri and I'm a speech communication instructor at Umpqua Community College. I've been teaching speech and communication courses for about 17 years and I've also conducted training and given presentations throughout the United States. Yet, at one time, I had such extreme fear of public speaking that I couldn't even make a call to the doctor's office to make an appointment for my children without first writing out a script and practicing it. Though some degree of speech apprehension is normal, up to about 80% of the general population experience it, I had extreme apprehension. Of those who do have a fear of public speaking, about 20% are on that extreme end. It was getting in the way of my personal, my academic, and potentially career success. I was also modeling a behavior that I didn't want my children to pick up. I knew I had to do something to face my fear. So a friend suggested I join a local group. It was for women called Toastmistress at the time, where I could focus on my fear of public speaking. What I expected was immediate results. I jumped in with both feet and somehow I got talked into giving a presentation in front of a whole community of people before I was ready. And all of a sudden there I was. The whole room was filled and there was a microphone in front of me and I just panicked. And so my heart started beating out of control. I couldn't hardly swallow. My mouth turned to peanut butter. The microphone was giving loud feedback every time I opened my mouth, and my eyes started twitching. And then to make it even worse, the ladies who were sitting in front of the audience, my dear supportive friends, had this look of horror on their face, and I just lost it. So as I slipped out of the door after the meeting was over, I decided that I'd either have to sequester myself, never put my face out in public again, or I was going to have to face my fear of public speaking. And I have never regretted choosing the latter. If you also have some moderate to high degree of speaking fear, I've got some good news for you, because there is something you can do about it, and you can start doing something about it today. So I'm going to share 5 suggestions that have really helped me, and they've helped others as well. In the time that we have, I'm going to briefly talk about the importance of identifying what motivates you, the recognition it's going to take some time, the need to learn the principles of speech, the importance of continually practicing, and finally, the value of getting feedback. So first, it's very important to identify what's going to motivate you. As you are no doubt very aware, for many people, the fear of public speaking is the top of their list of all fears. Your motivators, your reasons for facing that fear have got to be stronger than the fear itself. Perhaps you want to face that fear so that you can be a better model for your children or your family, or that you want to speak out in your community, or you want to gain self-confidence, or you want to improve your career opportunities. Those are all good reasons. Write those down. Also, what do you plan to do with your speaking skills as you develop them? Do you want to just speak up in a meeting? Or do you see this in 1 to 5 years as part of a career path? Or how do you see yourself using it? Write these goals down, write these motivators down, and review them often. Besides recognizing what's going to motivate you, you also need to recognize it's going to take time. It's going to take some real effort. It's just like if you were going to learn to play golf or become a musician or an artist, you wouldn't expect to simply pick up a book or try something a couple times and do it really well. You'd know that you'd have to invest in it for the long haul. For me, once I realized that I also had to make a long-term investment, it took me a few years before I actually started feeling comfortable speaking in public. Yet I did notice some change. I noticed some improvement very early on as I kept working at it. So give yourself time and make that commitment. And as you've made that commitment, it's important that you learn the basic principles of speech. You're not going to feel comfortable speaking if you don't know what you're doing. And so it's very valuable to recognize that although speaking is somewhat like writing, there's some similarities, in many ways it's much different. What I'd suggest, if you haven't already done it, is to take a class at your local community college and learn those principles. Your local community college offers affordable education, quality instructors who are genuinely interested in your success. So if you've already taken a class, you might brush up on some of those principles by reviewing your speech text or getting some good books on it, but know the principles of speaking. And as you do that, you're going to need plenty of opportunities to practice. So you've got to get to practice and take small steps. Don't do what I did and jump in with both feet and get in over your head too fast. You might speak up at a meeting that you're going to attend, or offer to give an announcement at work or your local place of worship once you're comfortable, but you need to continually practice. Toastmasters is a great way to continually practice. That is an international organization. They're in every community. They're for men and women who want to develop speaking skills. That's a wonderful way where you can get some consistent experience. So besides practicing and taking small steps, you need to also seek feedback. And you think, well, why? Would that help my confidence? It could help a great deal if you get feedback from the right sources. It's very helpful to get feedback from a qualified professional, such as a college speech instructor, who can base their feedback on solid speech principles. That instructor can see what you're doing right, as well as areas where you need to improve. And you can also go to Toastmasters to get some additional feedback, or some other group, or ask people, family members, to give you feedback, but you want to look at consistent, solid feedback. I was very surprised when I went to a Toastmasters group I had joined at one time and found that some of the members thought I appeared very comfortable. I felt like a wreck inside. And when I realized other people saw me differently than I felt inside, that helped my confidence as well. So there's a number of things that you can do to help get you started. You want to make sure you know what your motivators are and review them so that you don't give up too early. You want to give yourself time. Know the principles of speech. Take a class at a community college. Brush up by reviewing your materials. Get that practice and seek feedback. Now remember, you're not alone. Many of us have been where you might feel you are right now. It's a lifelong process. All of us are in the process of continual improvement. So, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you today to do one thing for me. I'd like you to write down at least 2 reasons why you need to face your fear of public speaking. Develop a vision for yourself. Decide where you want to be in 1, 3, and 5 years. And once you start that journey, stick with it. I know you can do it, and I know it's going to be worth it. Good luck.